Hello, everybody. I've had a hell of a time getting this stream up. I'll tell you what. I had everything was crashing. I couldn't get anything to show up. It was pretty brutal, but I managed to get something up. This is not our usual overlay, but it was as quick as I could make it. So it's gonna have to do for today. I did somehow manage to get our character sheet up. I wanted to try to have a screen with the character backstory and a screen for the character sheet, but given the circumstances, I think that's asking a lot from my program at the moment. So we just are going to stick with what we have, and we will still do a backstory about a page backstory. We will do that. Um, I just we're gonna have to take my word for it unless I can figure something out. Um, it doesn't look like there's anybody in here quite yet, so maybe I will try to make that happen real quick. So if you are watching this after the fact, this might be a little boring, but it is what it is, right? Alright, so let's see if we can get alright, I don't know if this is gonna work. Let me just try something real quick. Alright. Why is that not? That's weird. It's not letting me transition. Let me see anyway. Hold on. Does it work? Does it work? Oh, it does work. Okay. If you're in here right now, come say hey. Holler at me. I had to reinstall my program, so it's like learning how to use it all over again, I swear. It really is like learning it all over again because I had all of my settings perfectly in place. And now I have my cat also not perfectly in place. I'm not sure. If this is going back and forth, I apologize. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna stick to this. We're gonna stick to this. Who do we have anybody in chat right now? I didn't turn on my chat box. But essentially this stream, we are going to build a character from scratch, and that includes the character backstories. That includes character backstories. Sorry, guys. It like literally crashed. There we go. Okay, got it sorted. I got it sorted now. Alright, hang in there real quick. I'm just gonna throw up a quick screen for the backstory and then we're good. It's coming together. I love it. I love it when things come together. Like I said, it ain't gonna be pretty, but it is what it is. So, what I want to ask from the chat is, I kind of have an idea already what I want us to talk about today. Like, I already have a concept for a character. But you know, if you decide you want to see something else, that's cool too. I have lots of different resources. We can roll dice. A lot of the other Rebel role players have given me lots of ideas. So today we are clearly, as you can see on the screen, we're working on a Vampire the Masquerade character. I tend to make females mostly because I am a female, so I relate to them more, I understand them more than I do the male counterpart. So that's what we're going to start with. The theme I decided to go with is subterfuge. So we're going to build a backstory and a character sheet based on that. I have a lot of random bits and pieces that we can use to put together, but I was hoping to make this more interactive instead of just me saying, you know, this is what it is, blah, 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 blah. So first off, let's just give her a name. If anybody has any names, throw them out there right now. I've got a list of a few. If any resonate, just let me know. I've Elle Hale, Karhi Bladewood, Pi Sisk, Jolie Casso, and Astrid Pym. So those are the names that I've come up with. I don't really care one way or another. I don't feel like I'm loyal to one way or another, but if you like any of them, let me know. I think I'm partial to, I mean, for me, it also depends on the generation that we choose, because if she ends up being a thin blood or something, I kind of want her to have a more, not quite a vampiric type name. But if she's been in love, or not in love, if she's been around for a while, I think since nobody has said anything, I think we're gonna go with Pi. Sisk. Okay. Concept basically was subterfuge. Forgive me, my mind is boggled when I make a lot of typos and things, and a lot of it is because my medication really makes me confused sometimes. So if I have weird typos or I'm stumbling over words, that is generally what's going on there. The player is me. Alright. So before we can identify anything else, we need to come up with her backstory. So I am going to switch screens to the backstory one because I lost all my overlays and I just had to cobble together some for this stream. It's not in any way going to be pretty, and I apologize, but it is what it is. So let's see. Let's transition. All right, so let's see. So some of the ideas that I got. Feel free to chime in if you have a better idea. I guess it would be helpful. Hold on. The definition for subterfuge, for those who don't know, Is deceit used in order to achieve one's goal? A form of trickery and intrigue, deception, that kind of thing. So, one of the things that I thought fit very well for the character's clan, I thought would probably be a Bruja. They're kind of um, the more anarchist type, the more take down the system from the inside type. I thought that would be appropriate. If you disagree, let me know. I just put it on the character sheet, even though it's not on the sheet. So we're going with Bruja. And so I am going to type in some of the random ideas, and then we're going to pare them down. Okay. So these are my ideas, and they're also the ideas of some of the fellow Rebel role players. So just gonna throw in some random things. So freelance anarchist, revenge ambition, which might be the ambition that I would go with. Against Camarilla, in love, which I'm a sucker for a love story. In particular, somebody said in love with a Nosferatu, which I really like because I really like Nosferatus. They're kind of my jam. I was originally thinking maybe she was on a nighttime janitorial staff, which is how she gets in access to the information that she gets, which means she has a set of thieving and stealth skills. And I was thinking nighttime janitorial stuff, maybe for a Ventrue company. I was kind of thinking maybe there was some weird like orphan black shit happening at the place that she's working that is run. Ooh, jeez, my phone just scared the crap out of me. Sorry, I should probably have that down. That was too much for my heart. It's like jumping. I was thinking that the Ventrue was maybe doing experiments and on like trying to cure thin bloods or something like that, and in doing so is creating more harm than good, and that she's upset by this. And I was thinking whether or not she's in love with the Nosferatu is irrelevant. I was thinking that could be the person who's helping her distribute the information that she's finding. I could not think of a goddamn name for the company. So, like, literally, the only thing I could have was, like, Williamson and Harold. Like, I don't know. So I'm going to write it down just because if you have a better name, please tell me because it's so stupid. Cheesy. The other idea was she's doing an undercover government job, which is another option. Somebody said something about having her having a kill list, and being kind of like a roguish counterpart. So that's another idea. As far as like what she's doing for the janitorial stuff, I was thinking that she would basically be, as she's cleaning, she's getting access to these rooms and getting access to papers. Since she is clever at thieving, she would be able to get access to these files, copy them, send them off to her friends. What the heck? And that would kind of be her way of doing it. And I was thinking, like, in her human life, she's always kind of been a thief, a shoplifter, that type of thing. If anybody has any ideas or opinions, just chime in. Even if you just want to say hi, that's cool too. Please excuse all the freaking typos. I told you, it's gonna be typo city. Typo city. Human life, thieving, and shoplifting. What about that specifically? I don't know. So my main thing, whether or not you've read my background video or not, the main question is always why. Why do they do the things they do? So if that is the one we're going to go with, she needs to have a reason for doing so. Let me just make sure I've got all the random notes written down here. We'll set that aside. So also in my background video, I said that one of the best resources for building backstories is Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It's a D&D 5 ebook, and I stand by that. I don't care if it's Vampire the Masquerade or what it is. I totally stand by it. It's amazing for ideas, and also if you can't make a decision or you want to leave it to fate, you can just roll your dice for it. Like, it's amazing. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what it looks like. Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It's a $50 book, but I believe it's a lot cheaper on Amazon. I don't think I paid $50 for it. I maybe paid like $40 at the most. But if you play D&D, you really have to have it. If you are just looking for background stuff in general, I think it's a worthwhile investment. But it's not necessary. But I decided we today are going to roll for some of this stuff. So I'm gonna move my chat phone over, grab something to drink. Because in order to know your backstory, you have to go way deep back. So that's childhood, because psychologists will all say that a lot of your traumas and stuff, a lot of your thinking patterns all come back from your childhood. There are reasons you act the way you do and react the way that you do. So let's see. First chart. Parents. Roll a D100. Okay, got my D100, which I just want to show it off real quick. I don't know how well it would be seen, but it's a blood dice. Like, it's got it looks like it's like drops of blood inside. It's stunning. They're all stunning. I can't get over it. So D100. D100. So D100, and I need a D10. Where's my D10? So we got 25, which puts us in the realm of you know who your parents are or were. Okay. I'm not going to worry about race because it's irrelevant. This could be any particular attraction or like physical features that you want. It's fine. I'm sorry. Just 1 second. I don't even know. That was the weirdest voicemail. They just kept saying this is their house. What? Wait, what? I don't know. That was strange as hell, you guys. People don't really call my phone, so when they call it, I'm like, something emergent happening? I don't know what's happening. Alright. So birthplace is on here. It might not be entirely applicable, but I am curious as to what it'll say. Home. It just says home. Where do we want her home to be? Let's say that she was born in Seattle, Washington, but as a vampire now resides in Portland, Oregon. And I always put Portland, Oregon because that's where I'm from, so I know it the best. Like, I haven't gotten out in the world very much at all. So siblings. Does she have siblings? 22. Oh, that was the wrong thing. So 2. She has no siblings, only child. Only child. And since she's the only child, she has no birth order. So parents, mother and father. So this has all kinds of different options. Adopted, orphan, institutionalized, paternal, mother only, stepmother, and father, like has all kinds of things. Also has like family lifestyle, so how they grew up. So 3d6, 2, 5, 7, 9. So she had a modest living. Not terrible. Not particularly comfortable, but modest. So she had clothes on her back. She had food in her belly, but it wasn't the fanciest. Let's see what kind of house she lived in. And again, like, I'm only rolling just for fun. If I don't like what it says, like, I'm not gonna go with what it says. So never feel like you're boxed in. Like, if you do choose to do a random sort of a character sheet or character creation thing, don't feel boxed in. It's your character. You can do what you want. Alright, so childhood home. After making this roll, apply a modifier from the family lifestyle table. I don't have a family modifier. 13. On the streets. No, if she had a modest childhood, she wasn't on the streets. So we're going to skip that. She's going to live in... let's say that she lived in a apartment in a crappy neighborhood. Let's say that. So, childhood memories. 3d6. 6. 8. 11. I had a few close friends and lived an ordinary childhood. I mean, we're talking about her human life right now. So here we go. Why she became a criminal, for lack of a better word. So D6. This is a good one, actually. This is really appropriate. I resented authority in my younger days and saw a life of crime as the best way to fight against tyranny and oppression. I like that. Alright, I'm going to type that word for word, actually. Saw a life of crime as the best way to fight against tyranny and oppression. So if that doesn't sound like a brouhaha, I don't know what does. I think that's pretty much all that I wanted from Xanathar's Well, there is life events. We could try life events. Just for fun. I don't know if we'll use it. How old is she going to be in human years? Does anybody have any thoughts? I'm picturing maybe 22. Young, but old enough to go to a bar and drink and get information and gossip. That's what I'm imagining. So that'll give her 1d4 life events. I'm just curious. I don't know if I'm going to use this. We're just doing this for fun. 1d4. Got a 3. So she's had 3 life events. Which means we need to roll... when you look at dice all day every day, they all just kind of look the same. So we need to roll 3 life events. 23. So this one says, you fell in love or got married. I think I'm not going to count that as a human life. I think that I am going to count that as this, actually, because that is a life event still, even in our afterlife. Okay. So number 2, 44. You made a friend of an adventurer. Friend of an adventurer. I don't know how that would hide. How that would work out. Stop, baby. Hey. How would that work out? 44. You made a friend of an adventurer. So that would probably be a nomadic type of... Maybe that would be the person who is helping her with her... the lead of her group, so to speak. I just want to look at my vampire book real quick. And let's think who would be, because a gangrel is usually unaffiliated, which would be a good one. Well, Malkavians are their own thing. They see their own visions, and maybe that's why she's feeling more compelled to do those things. So it's not an adventurer by actual title. Adventurer. So we're just going to put it in that. Alright, and one more. 91. That is a 9, right? No, that's a 61. Okay. The dice is weird because it doesn't have the little dot on the bottom of it. 61. You spent time working in a job related to your background. She's pretty much already doing that. So, irrelevant. Or is it? Do we want her to start at that job, or do we want her to... This is why backstories are the longest. Like, filling out character sheets is, like, easy peasy. Let's say her job, she was just an overall human rights activist. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. So let's see. I'm kind of curious. That's pretty much it. The only other table that I might be interested is the alignment table. Just to see what it says, we're going to go for it. 3d6. 1, 6, 12. It's neutral. She's a true neutral. You don't see very many of those. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind. So, for anybody who's just choosing in, I am rolling stats for a backstory so that I don't have to come up with everything completely on my own. If you have thoughts, ideas, or anything you want to see in the character background, just shoot them out. Meanwhile, I just wanted to share again the book that I'm using, Xanathar's Guide to Everything. It's a D&D book, but you can use it for anything. I just use it for a bunch of things. Just make it relative to your character. Besides the Player's Handbook, it is the most used book I have for D&D. I love it. I love it so much. All right. So, those are some of the things that we know. I just realized that this isn't scrolling on your guys' end for some reason. I wonder why that is. That's alright. I will start from the beginning. I will start from the beginning and then just use the bottom for reference. So ideally I like to do 1 page of backstory. But to be honest, when I come up with my backstories, I come up with the general concept and then I sleep on it. Like, I will go to bed and I will just ponder it forever. And then I'll wake up like, oh, this, oh, that, and I'll have all these different ideas. And then writing down the 1-page backstory is super easy. And I do recommend doing at least 1 page because it gives you time to actually flesh things out. The more you know about your character, the easier it is to roleplay them and act like them. If you don't know, like, it's not helpful. So we've got freelance anarchist, like a for hire anarchist. Her revenge is her ambition against the Camarilla, who she's doing by getting back at Aventru as a nighttime janitorial staff by using her thieving and stealth skills to obtain information for, who did we decide? Some kind of leader, either a gangrel or a Malkavian. She's in love with a Nosferatu who does her a lot of favors and helps her away. It's like one of those, tragic love kind of stories. We had the idea of an undercover government job, but I think we're going to go off it. I don't think we're going to do a kill list. I mean, I'm not going to completely write off the idea of a kill list, but we could. So in her human life, she was pretty much a thief, a shoplifter. That's how she made her money. She was a human rights activist. She knew both her mother and her father. They had a precarious relationship. She was born in Seattle, lives in Portland. She's an only child, grew up in a crappy apartment. She had a few close friends in ordinary childhood. But I don't know. We can decide if we want to keep the friends around or not. Or maybe that's one of the reasons she's so pissed. Maybe they were experimenting on one of her friends. That's a good one. That's a good idea, actually. I forget what this was. Her like goal. I resented authority in my younger days and saw a life of crime as the best way to fight against tyranny and oppression. Her alignment is a true neutral, so she doesn't care about law or chaos one way or another. That's good to know. Alright, so let's start writing this. This is the first time that I have really written on screen, so I'm a little nervous about it. I feel like people are gonna judge me because I write like novels and stuff, and so this is like, oh, people are gonna watch my process. It's awkward. Okay, so should we decide real quick? Real quick, let's see. Her ambition is revenge. Her generation. So I was thinking that she should be a thin blood. And thin blood, I believe, is 15 or 16? Is that right? 15 or 16? I have so many tabs on this, I will never find it. I'll never find it. I'm never gonna find it. I didn't find it! Where are you? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. I feel like it's this one. 14th, 15th, or 16th. Well, if that's the case, what do you guys think? What if she's a thin blood? Which one are we going with? I'm prone to thinking 15th or 16th, with a heavy leaning towards 16th. Yeah. Nobody has any opinions? Nobody's gonna help me with this? Ah! Okay. Well, tentatively then, I guess we will do 16th. So she will be a thin blood. Okay. Alright. Predator type we'll get to. Chronicle is kind of, that's for the player to decide. It's not so much for us or me to decide. Alright, so let's go back to this and start writing. I need to stop procrastinating now. Whoops, where is my... Alright. So. Feel free to pipe in here whenever you want. Hey Chelsea! You gonna watch the magic happen? It's all magic. If you have any ideas or anything, Chelsea, you just throw them out. Just throw them out there, man. And just for the record, it's totally okay to do the whole college thing where super you super indent. What is okay? So why am I a cheater? How did I cheat? Burgeoning a word. I feel like it's a word. Burgeoning activist. I'm changing the margins. It's still gonna be a page. See? I know what I'm doing. You're just lucky it's not a 2.0 gap there. Alright. Naive sense of righteousness. She could be in a band. She could be in a band. What else do we got here that I need to address? Did I spell thievery right? Well, it didn't underline, so. She is in love with the Nosferatu. I don't know if you see that on the screen, but she is. See, I kept that one on there. Oops, the wrong kind of done. Writing for an audience is kind of makes me nervous. Um, Bye, Chels. If you're just joining us, we're doing character creation start to finish. So we're working on backstory, and we basically wrote down a bunch of stuff as ideas. Now we're writing the actual backstory. I like to do 1 page of backstory as a minimum, and then we're going to actually fill out the character sheet. This particular one is for Vampire the Masquerade. It's just what Rebel role players, I like to talk with the group and see where everybody's head is at, and that's where we're at, I guess. Just doing it this way. So anyway, if you have any thoughts or anything you want to see, let's make this interactive. It's more fun that way. Hold on real quick. I want to see if I can move this up real quick. Weird. It's so weird that it won't scroll. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to figure that out. My whole streaming platform crashed, and I had to make all of this like ASAP because the stream is about to start in like 3 minutes. So it's not the normal level of quality I like to have. But that's okay. So since we can't see the rest of the page because I don't know what's going on with it, I'm just going to read as I write, I suppose. You can at least see the first part of it. I want to do a couple more paragraphs if I can. So she doesn't remember anything else from that night. When she comes to, she's in a strange laboratory. The kind where you see all white, nothing but sterility. Her head is she feels thirst burning in her throat. She feels thirst burning in her throat. She doesn't know what is happening. No one says a word as she's taken to a cell. She finds her... Sorry, guys. Are more informative than her captors and finds that she is a thin blood. A vampire who is never truly a vampire. She plays by the rules, only long enough to learn how to break them. She uses her formal skill set to break out with the help of a friendly... Wow, what did we decide? Gangrel or Malkavian? Malkavian is always more fun, in my opinion. Malkavian in a purple lab coat. She tells her that her work isn't done and tells her to find a way to get them out. I asks how she's supposed to do that, but all the mysterious Malkavian says is subterfuge, which is the whole point of the character creation. Which, by the way, I didn't anticipate making a thin blood, but that's what it turned into. So that's interesting. Hi, Drowsy Kiwi. Let's see. I don't know what happens between then and there. Okay, so she takes an undercover job as a lowly janitor at a Ventru-run laboratory company. She works nights to steal files and hands them off to the ones in charge, people whom she doesn't quite know yet. Her only friends seem to be the purple-coated Malkavian, name, question mark, and a charming for a Nosferatu. What is his name? What do we want his name to be? I'm terrible with names. What's a good Nosferatu name? Come on, guys. Ugh. I don't know. I hate the name Clay, but it's all that's coming to my head right now. Nosferatu name Clay. I'll change that later. I don't know. I'm not into that name. I'm not into that name at all. And Clay. He works the hacking side. She works the tracking side. Together, they form a strong bond. Strong enough to become bloodbound. Of course, I don't think she can bloodbound him, but he can bloodbound her. So we're gonna keep that. They currently both work from... So currently, she works for the purple coat Malkavian, with the help of clay. But things go awry when she realizes one of her best human friends has been taken and found in the same laboratory she once escaped from. That's where we're gonna end that one. So she's got her motives, she's got her reasons, and that actually ends up being a page, which is the goal here. So again, I am going to post both this and the character sheet when I upload this video to YouTube. It will all be found there, so if you decide you want to use her as a character, you can even change it to a he. I don't really care. Then you certainly can. What did we name her? Her name was Sisk. Alright. I'm just gonna put that down. I'm sorry that it's not scrolling. I don't know why it won't do that on here. I'll have to fix it for next week. Like I said, I was having a lot of problems. Let's see. So, character creation. So I've only done the full character creation for Vampire the Masquerade 1.5 times. 1.5 times, something like that. Hold on, I need to make more room on my desk. It's getting kind of crazy in here. And now all you can see is my... Sorry, it's loud, it's loud. Sorry guys. That was obnoxious. My desk is too short. So anyway, my point was, forgive me as this takes me a minute. So we've got our core concept. We know their character's name in life, it's the same. What she does, when and where that she was embraced. Her sire is unknown, but yeah, it's just unknown. It's unknown. And we're not going to do character map. So Chronicle is up to whoever your storyteller is. Predator type. She seems like the kind who doesn't want to be. And because she has easy access to blood, being an what do you guys think? I'm kind of between bagger and farmer. She's not really a scene queen type. She's not a siren type. She could theoretically be a consensualist. Or blood leech could be a good one, actually. Let's do blood leech. Alright. Attributes. Take one attribute at 4. We'll do... We'll give her wits. 3 attributes at 3. And... No. If anybody has any insight or they want to see stats in different places, go ahead, argue your point. I'm just kind of going with the flow here. 4 attributes at 2. One at 1. She ain't very strong. That's what we know. Okay, skills. That one's squirreling, right? Okay, it is. I don't know why. That's so weird. Computers are weird. I don't even know. So her health is stamina plus 3. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Willpower, composure plus resolve. So she's got 5. And they all start at 7. Is that true of Thin Bloods? I know that Thin Bloods have like whole different things. I have never made a Thin Blood before. Let me see. Oh, I said health, but I need humanity. Does anybody know the answer to this question? 36. Like, do they get different, do they get more humanity as Thin Bloods? I can't find anything immediately. Alright. I'm not going to pretend to be the expert here. So, skills. We can do Jack of all trades, balanced, or specialist. I tend to always go with specialist, but maybe we should do Jack of all trades. Or should we do balanced? Ugh, decisions. Since she's kind of all over the place, let's do Jack of all trades. I don't see anything coming up in chat. So 1 skill at 3. 1 skill at 3. What do we want it to be? Subterfuge. That's where we want it to be. That's easy. 8 skills at 2. 8 skills at 2. She's got to be a little streetwise. She is a rock star. She can be intimidating. She's got to be stealthy. She's got to know survival. She's an anarchist, so she's got to have brawl. Let's give her investigation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 1 more. Politics. 10 skills at 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, The last one, guys. Let's go with persuasion. See, I've never made a thin blood. This is interesting. Because I know that we're going to have to decide which I still don't know if this humanity is. I feel like they get more humanity if they're thin blood. But I don't know. I can't find the answer. I don't know. We already chose predator type, right? So we need to figure out the disciplines. They have no intrinsic disciplines, I know that. But does that mean they just choose any two? See, I hadn't planned on making a thin blood, which is why I'm so unprepared right now. It's just kind of the way that it happened. Disciplines. Okay. So you only can add it after they've fed with that power with another vampire. So let's assume that because she's a blood leech and she's leeching off of the love of her life, that she has. Let's just start her off with some. Just for fun, we're just going to start her off with some. We're just going to plop her down in the middle of a story. Since we already know who she's drinking from. Let's do obfuscate. And she only has one, right? I think. Why didn't I just look at that? It's the worst. Shauna, you're the worst. Let's just start her with that one. What? So she was a blood leech. She gets sorry, cat, let go. I need to write this down. So as a blood leech, she gets a specialty in brawl or stealth. One dot celerity. Lose one dot humanity. Increase blood potency by 1. Flaw. I don't want to forget about these, so I'm writing it down. Okay. I was looking for... Where are the... I guess I could just look at the fucking index like a normal person. Powers. Wow, why am I not seeing it? Like, where are the disciplines? There, 243. Ugh. Top skates. I really wish I could turn on some music right now. But I'm gonna put this on YouTube and I don't want it to be... I don't want to worry about it being taken off. So she'll do coefficients. Okay. So what did we say? Celerity. Rapid reflexes. Linda and humanity. I forgot to bring my glasses in here. In case you're wondering why I put blood potency 1, it's because of the predator types that she is. So now, let's do the backgrounds, merits, and flaws. So she has to put shunned, and that's worth 2. It's worth 2. Prey exclusion, it's 2. Okay. So where? Specializations, where are we at? So she gets a stealth specialization. What do we want it to be? We've got ambushes, crowds, disguise, hiding, shadowing, silent movement, urban, and wilderness. Considering she's an anarchist, crowds is probably the best option. And she... What is it? It's athletics? What are the free ones? The free ambitions. Academics, craft, performance, she's got 2. In science, she's got 1. So performance. We've got comedy, dance, drama, drums, guitar, keyboards, poetry, public speaking, rap, singing, violin, and wind instruments. I mean, she's in a band and she is a social activist, so she could do either public speaking or like guitar. I think I'm gonna go with guitar just because it's badass. And then science. Thanks for the follow. Science. Astronomy, biology, chemistry, demolitions, engineering, genetics, geology, mathematics, and physics. I mean, she was in a lab experimenting on curing thin bloods. Does that count as biology or chemistry? I think it's biology, right? So let's do biology. And her extra one that she gets to choose, subterfuge, since that's the whole point, is going to be bluff, feign mortality, impeccable lies, innocence, the long con, seduction. The long con. Yeah. Good choice, good choice. Okay. So now we've got all of this stuff figured out. I believe hunger always starts at 1. So her touchstones and convictions. Oh, and her background and flaws. So let's start with touchstones and convictions. You have to pick between 1 and 3 touchstones and then an even amount or an equal amount of convictions, or one way or another. So we'll do. I always suck at these. Maybe it's just because I don't have a lot of them in my life. I don't know. Her convictions. Fight for the underdog. Anybody else got an idea of touchdowns and convictions? Because I definitely need help with this one. I'm the worst. I'm the worst. Where's touchdowns and convictions at? $173. One of these days, I'm going to be a pro at this book. You don't even know. In my defense, I literally just picked this book up like a month ago, learned the entire thing, did a session 0, and now I'm sitting here. So really, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. So what kind of things do they have here? Convictions. Fight for the underdog. Protect. Innocence. From harm. The guilty must be punished. There we go. And then her convictions, or her touchstones, I'm sorry. Apparently I'm doing this backwards. Oops. Mom. It sucks that they have to be human. Because, I mean, like, one of your touchstones could be something very humane, but it doesn't have to be a human. Mom, I don't know what the other one is. Because she's an only child. Let's just put the old lady next door. Why not? It's fine. So she's thin blood, so she has an clan bane, and for the sakes of this, there is no chronicle tenants because this isn't really part of a chronicle. So we need to finish. She doesn't have a bane either. Alright. So I marked the page this time. So she has to choose one dot. I'm gonna write it down real quick. 7 points advantage, 2-point flaws. Alright, so let's see what we got for advantages. I mean, there's looks, but I don't feel like that's worth anything. I don't think she's an addict. She's too young to be living in the past. We could give her a... Because she is bloodbound, we could give her a, bond junkie, but it's only worth 1, so we still have to come up with 1 more flaw point. I'm gonna take this off. I changed my mind. She's gonna have baby teeth. Oh, these don't really have things next to them, so I'm just gonna assume I have to put more than 1. Ooh, this one's interesting though. This one says, Clan Curse. Remnants of your sire's blood still flows through your veins, carrying traces of their ancient curse. You must pick a clan bane to suffer from, counting your bane severity as 1 for this purpose. You can only pick the Bruja or Gangrel bane if you possess the Bestial Temper flaw, and the Tremere bane only if you have the Cantinating blood merit. And I was thinking originally that I wanted her to be a Bruja, so that would make her bane severity 1. And that would be Bruja. That works out perfectly, actually. Okay. I'm changing this one too. Keep finding better ones. So we're gonna do dependency, which essentially your blood is unable to sustain vampiric powers by itself. Unless you drink enough vampire blood to slake one hunger each week, you lose your ability to gain and use any disciplines. You regain your powers as soon as you slake at least one hunger with vampire blood. Which, considering she's, blood bleach, is actually a really good one. So I need 7 merits. Let's do Anarch Comrades. Day Drinker. The last one allows them to embrace and do blood bonding. Discipline Affinity. Lifelike. For whoever's still chilling here, I really appreciate it. This has been a long stream. I kind of knew. I was kind of thinking it would be like 2 hours because writing an entire backstory and then doing a character sheet, especially when you're not used to doing one of these character sheets, takes quite some time. One, two, three, four, five, six. Her last one will be... Why did I spell that wrong? Oh my gosh, come on. Advantage. Her last one will be Vampiric Resilience. Cool. What is the clan bane for Buha? Frenzy. Okay. So. I think. So let me look something real quick. That's not what I wanted. Hold on. Annoying. I hate when, like, I've been through this book a billion times and I still can't. Look at all these, like, tabs and I still can't find my way around it. Like, where does it talk about? What page is it? If any of you know, I'm looking for the Thin Blood Alchemy page. I was gonna try to put something in the notes. but I am not seeing it. Got it. Page 282, y'all. I got it. Got it. Because like I said, I wasn't planning on making a thin blood. This is like way out of my element. That's my cat, Uzi. She doesn't like when I'm in here not paying attention to her. So basically, come on. Ow, stop. No. Jeez, man. She's so mad at me. Okay, so that's a whole other thing. I just wanted to look at it. So the biographical data, I'm going to leave blank because that's for whoever decides to pick this sheet up and use it. So same thing with Chronicle. Hunger always starts at 1. We've got these. That says crowds, that says the long con, that says guitar, and that says biology. And I think that's it, guys. If there's any questions, go ahead and ask them now, because I am gearing up to turn off the stream because it has been a long stream. So we have not only gone through developing a backstory, writing out a one-page backstory, and filling out the character sheet based on the backstory. So we've done all of these things. It took us an hour and a half, which is a lot. I feel like if you're more proficient in the character sheets that you're working with and the handbooks that you're working with, it can go a lot faster. But now, like if I took this character sheet, I would know, I could hit the ground running. I would know exactly who she is as a person, versus if you're just filling out a character sheet and you're just kind of going with the flow. You don't really know who they are. It's harder to roleplay that, especially in a roleplay heavy game like Vampire the Masquerade. So this video will end up on our YouTube, which if you need access to it, it is just Rebel Roleplayers. Just search it in YouTube and it will come up as like the first thing. We haven't quite gotten able to get our own / yet. You have to have like a certain amount of followers or whatever. But it will be up there by tomorrow morning along with the character sheet and the backstory to download. So if anybody does want to take it and use it and just be lazy with it, basically, they are more than welcome. And of course, they can edit it. I'll see if I can figure out how to keep the PDF editable with this so that people can make changes to it as they want. I'll see if I can figure that out. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, so look for that on YouTube. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give us a follow. We could use all the support we want. Our channel is a tabletop role-playing game channel. We are aiming to give resources, promote games, and just be nerdy about the games that we love with other people. That is our purpose. We do a bit of video gaming streams, but that's mostly just for fun. It's nothing serious. We're not a video game channel. Stop. So like I said, if you like us, check out our page. If you like what you see, give us a follow, spread the word. We are on pretty much every social media on the freaking planet. Next time that you see me, the overlays will be back to normal. They won't look like this. This is just my quick thing. My whole computer just crashed on me. So thanks for sticking around if you stuck around the whole time. It was really cool. Yeah, thanks. I guess this is where I end it. This is where it ends.